Okay, now we're going to look at how to do the reweighting. If you have the validate also oversampled, then we have to reweight the confusion matrix. So how are we going to do that? Okay, so now we're going to use validate 2, train data set and validate 2. Validate 1 is not oversampled, so there is no problem. You use that, you generate your confusion matrix, everything is fine. No need for adjusting. But if you have to, if this is the approach you are taking, that is oversample validate as well, then we need to do the adjustment. So first let's run a logistics model, logistic regression model, okay, and let's see, so we're going to do it here. Run logistics model. Okay, so we will call it over.reg, and we will be discussing the GLM function in more detail later on. So right now we just run the code with the target is response, okay, and we want to use all the predictors except ID. So we don't, ID is not a, see if you look at, okay, so ID is not a variable, and yeah. Okay, so minus ID, and then we have data equal to train dot df, okay, family equal to binomial, okay, and the link is logit, so that is logistic regression. Okay, so now we have the over reg done. Now we need to get the probabilities. Okay, so we do valid 2 probability. We have to predict the probabilities for valid 2, which is oversampled. So valid 2 predict, okay, over dot reg, right, over dot reg. New data is valid 2 dot df, okay, and then we have to say type equal to response. So type equal to response will calculate probabilities for us. So we want the probability, which is probability of success or probability of positive event. So that is probability, that's the propensity. Okay, so that's what you're going to get in with this. And then we also need the class for us to be able to run the confusion matrix. So this is where we used if else. There is another way of doing it, which is even simpler code. So if you do as integer and then valid 2 probability, and then you put the cutoff. So what this will do is wherever this is true, the as integer will convert the true to a 1. Wherever it is true, it will be converted to 1. If it is false, it will be converted to 0. So you'll get 1 and 0 here. See, you can look at that. Okay. And then we can run the confusion matrix. Confusion matrix, okay. We need to give them as factors. So you have to use as factor valid to class, and then as factor the response, the actual one, as factor valid2.df, valid2.df response. Okay. The predicted class and the actual class. Okay. And then we can say positive, okay, we can specify what the positive class is, and because we are converting these to factor, they are no longer integer zeros and ones, so you have to specify the number within quotation. Okay. So that's going to generate our confusion matrix, but this needs to be weighted. Okay. So we need to capture this in a list. So we put it into HCM.